Hello, folks, and welcome to the show. My name is Asa Morris, and this is Weird Week. Firmly into March now, but let's be totally honest, time is not real anymore, so who gives a shit? Like usual, we've got a full load for you this week. That joke gets funnier on Wednesday. Of paranormal, abnormal, and just bizarre news from all over the place. As always, anything we talk about on the show will have links in the description. Before we get started, I would really appreciate it if you could help feed the YouTube algorithm. Like, bell, comment, subscribe, not particularly in that order. I'm sure the order matters, but I have no idea what it is, and I'm not gonna learn. And if you like what we do here and would prefer more of a deep dive into some of these topics, check out our podcast, Low Strangeness. It's available everywhere the podcasts are available. New episodes every Monday. This week we've got a particularly interesting show about the Texas Banshee from last year where, I'll be honest, I think I cracked it. It wasn't a Banshee. Or a pressure release valve. But it is pretty terrifying. So check it out. Low Strangeness. Make sure you follow us on all of the socials, including our new TikTok, where I just spend most of my time debunking fake ghost videos. All of our links will be in the link tree in the description. Anyway, starting our week off in flames like most weeks lately, Reddit user Old Guy New Tricks posted this photo, taken in Tyngsboro, Massachusetts around 5:40 p.m. The user stated they saw a ball of light in the sky falling toward the Earth, and 2 minutes later came upon the wreckage. Before breaking apart, NASA estimated that the meteor was less than the size of a bowling ball and traveled at 42,000 miles per hour. To me, it's fascinating that this landed in the median. Very convenient. On Monday, the seemingly endless series of mysterious booms continued across the country, this time reported by ABC 12 News in Genesee County, Michigan. Like all other reports, homes across the county shook briefly with no explanation. Police said there were no reports of explosions, damage, or injury related to the sound. One resident, Tom Delgado, noted that this is actually the second time this has happened in the last 6 months. He also said that it was similar to a sonic boom, but being a Navy veteran, he is familiar enough with the phenomenon to know that despite it seemingly coming from above, it was not a sonic boom. There were also no media reports from that area at that time. Now, normally I wouldn't cover this, but every single time it happens, I seem to get an inbox full of misidentified phenomenon in photos, videos, and descriptions. So, let's talk about it. On Tuesday, SpaceX tweeted this, and I immediately braced myself for a full inbox of Starlink photos. In case you aren't aware, these are Starlink satellites in the sky. A long trail of lights in a straight line. Every time there is a Starlink launch, hundreds of these photos pop up on UFO boards, and while that crowd is certainly used to it by now, I can't help but think that it sure would have been nice to have a more public education campaign before hundreds of people got freaked out all the time. Or maybe that was the plan all along. However, the actual launch was pushed back to Sunday the 14th. Spoiler for next week's episode, a lot of people don't recognize a rocket launch in the sky. Well, here we go. Wednesday. Time for that joke from the intro to pay off. The New York Post, arguably the definitive news source of our society, posted this article on Wednesday, titled, "Scientists Want to Send 6.7 million sperm samples to the moon." Now, I'm going to do my best to not reach around for any off-color jokes. I wouldn't want to anger YouTube and find myself in a sticky situation, so I'll just read it as it comes. In what they're calling a modern global insurance policy, mechanical engineers have proposed that humans establish a repository of productive cells, sperm and ova, from 6.7 million of Earth's species, including humans, and the proposed bank, or ark, would be beneath the moon's surface. There's a number of jokes I could say, but I won't. In related news, related news, this is the worst segment I've ever done. Folkspaper.com ran an article regarding a supposed virgin birth. 20-year-old Nicole Moore discovered she was pregnant to her absolute shock due to the fact that not only had she not had penetrative relations, but that she is physically unable to due to a condition known as vaginismus. Listen, I think we've spent all the time we can on these poor taste jokes. I don't need anyone getting salty. Turns out, Nicole wasn't the mother of the coming Messiah, only that during other intimate activities, things were sprayed and nobody prayed. I am so glad that segment is over. On Thursday, a video was posted of just a couple of guys hanging out, playing games, having a good time, until one of them notices their luggage is taking a trip without them. Keep your eye on the fella up top and the mannequin behind them.
So there we go. That is end of round number 3.
Whoa. Did you guys just see that and hear that?
I heard like a bonk.
What? Did you not hear that noise?
I heard a bonk, yeah.
My fucking suitcase just moved across the room by itself. It's right there. It's not there a second ago, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you didn't catch it, let me zoom that in for you.
Films are fucking amazing.
So there we go. That is end of round number 3.
Whoa.
It's an interesting clip, and even an empty suitcase is a little bit heavy. I personally don't think this is fishing line, and his reaction seems pretty genuine. Regardless, it's a suitcase joke. I don't know why I wanted to do so many jokes this episode. If you somehow don't know, the Antikythera mechanism is a fascinating device discovered in a shipwreck in 1901 with many gears and moving parts, and is often considered to be the world's first computer, although it dates back to ancient Greece. For over a century, scientists and theorists have debated over the use of the mechanism, with the most common theory being that it was a navigational tool, with the added bonus of being the only known example of one in existence. So over on Vice, an article was ran on Friday titled, "Scientists have unlocked the secrets of the ancient Antikythera mechanism." According to the article, a radical new theoretical model matches all the data and culminates in an elegant display of the ancient Greek cosmos. The device seems to have been used to track celestial bodies and predict events such as eclipses and planetary alignments. Part of the reason this discovery was taking so long was that this device was originally built when the geocentric model of the solar system was widely believed to be true, and therefore, entire complicated models had to be created to replicate the fine-tuning of the mechanism. Well, here's Spooky Saturday. This photo popped up online showing a girl smoking and taking a selfie in front of the mirror. However, the reflection of her back shows her arm at her side, as opposed to her actual arm being upright. My first thought, of course, was that this was just a trick of shutter speed. There have been a number of photos that have popped up with people blinking in pictures where their eyes are closed, but their reflection has their eyes open, leading to a creepy effect. But I challenge you to move your arm faster than shutter speed. And while that one is a little interesting, this one coming up is not. Once again, it's time for how to spot a fake. So this photo also popped up online on Saturday with the caption, "Did we capture a ghostly orb in the graveyard?" Okay, so you know how I feel about orb photos. Most of the time, they're either dust or out of focus bugs. But here's a great example of the third, and in my opinion, prettiest type. A lens flare. A simple reflection of the sun. So not ghostly, and being two-dimensional, not even actually an orb. Although it is in a graveyard. And it is pretty. And that's our week. Like always, there was a bunch of stuff I could have and wanted to talk about, but didn't. Listen, I can't just sit here and babble all day. I've got orb photos to make fun of. If you happen to see something that you would like to see me talk about either here or on the podcast, let us know. Hit us up on any of the socials or email us directly at lowstrangeness@gmail.com. Just like every week, I want to just say loud and clear that I'm not presenting these stories as the truth or entirely real. Only weird, strange news that popped up during the week that I found interesting that I thought you might as well. I always try to weed out the fakes, except for when I think people could learn from them. or when they're just horrible, like those puppets. But that is not the point of it. Once again, if you would like more in-depth discussion or just like the sound of my voice, please check out our podcast, Low Strangeness. It is available everywhere that podcasts are, with new episodes out every Monday. This week, we dug deep into the Texas Banshee case, and I think I cracked it. So make sure you follow Low Strangeness wherever you get podcasts. Once again, I am Asa Morris. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here on Weird Week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, bell, all of that. Take care of yourselves and the people around you, and I will see you next week.